Hello again. I'm here at the convention of the International Society of Bassists with Professor Fausto Borem. Hello. Fausto.
Hi, Klaus.
Good to see you here. We both have a long way to go to come here.
Yeah.
And I'm doing today another edition of the Bavarian Basstalk for the Bavarian Bassdays. And so I want to ask you, you're coming from Brazil. I'm coming from Bavaria. So we both have a B in the beginning, but still we are on a big distance. And we both have like a lot of different influences on playing music, on playing especially double bass. And this is something I find very, very interesting and also important to have that influences from different places. And for this Bavarian Basstalk, I'm trying to get over the years a source of knowledge from people that are influential in the double bass world from as many places as possible. So I want to ask you, you are teaching since a long time as a university professor. What changed in the double bass world since you started until now? What was good or maybe also negative? And what is your future vision on that?
Okay.
It's a long question, I know.
Thanks, Klaus, for the opportunity, and I'm glad you asked that. Talking about the past, I come from a tradition of the German left-hand fingering, 1 to 4, and the Italian fingering, 1, 3, 4. So I was glad I had this opportunity to learn from two traditions. And also I come from a country, Brazil, in which it was written, curious enough, the second double bass method in the world. I do research, scientific research, and we found this manuscript from 1831.
By who?
Lino José Nunes. In the last research competition of the ISB, we won the honor prize to bring this together and publish an article about his music and his method. Well, in his method he used only 1 and 4, probably because of the tightness of the strings. Anyway, talking about present, I combine those techniques. So I use 1, 2, 3, 4, and I think modern double bass, there's no schools, but a mix of traditions. And in the last 15 years, I spent most of my time in research, looking for a way to control the intonation of the double bass, not only by the ear, but also with visual cues and also tactile cues. For that, I found an interdisciplinary research group with colleagues from my university in the fields of physical education, that is motor behavior, and neurosciences, to understand the connections between movements and the senses, vision, ear, and tactile. So I ended up with a method that combines, integrates these senses to control. The repertoire that I play today is mainly newly created.
By you?
By me, and arrangements that I do from compositions that I found are relevant to the repertoire, the modern double bass. So it combines extended techniques, popular music, classical music, avant-garde music. So I call it crossover because of that, and it requires a lot of expressive techniques that are much. For example, to play with bow and pizzicato simultaneously. For example, using artificial harmonics in several effects. For example, to playing two lines, playing bass and chords, like in a Bach composition. For example, using voice and playing simultaneously.
Yeah.
and many other techniques. I edit everything that I play, so it's a lot of editing on the computer. And for the future, I think we have to incorporate as much as possible all these new trends as we see in a convention like that. It's just everything, I mean, you have traditional people here, but you also have people linked to the future. So using your body, use your scientific tools, and using these crossover cultures. It's mainly what I think.
And what do you think about, especially in your country, about the availability of instruments and education for a wide field of people? Is it easy to get education for everybody, or is it hard? I mean, how is this?
Okay, as far as instruments, they're not easy to get. Now we have some vendors of Chinese instruments, but it's hard to have, for example, instruments for kids to begin with.
Why is that?
Well, not many luthiers are interested, and I think the public system doesn't have money to order instruments, so they are not readily available at stores like the Chinese instruments. So we would need more people making them.
And I mean, as you might know, I'm a lot in the field of mini basses and children's education. What could we do from outside, or from the International Society of Basses, or from my point, or what could happen to make that better?
Well, I think maybe exchange programs or joint ventures. Like, for example, in my university, we construct a mini bass because we had an artist visiting project. So this luthier came and constructed one bass. He had a class of bass making, and all the students helped to make this little mini bass. We need this more in other states of Brazil. This happened in Minas Gerais, and it's the only initiative that I can remember of. But I know people in many other states who would like to have this opportunity. Now, as far as education, we are lucky that in Brazil there's a free access federal system of universities with the schools of music. Not in every state, but in many states. So the best schools in Brazil are from the federal system, and they are free. This is
for everybody.
For everybody, yeah. It's a very good system. Yeah. But right now we have a problem because our president, Mr. Bolsonaro, he doesn't have that vision. He just said 2 weeks ago that people in university should learn just mathematics and grammar. So he's against humanities, arts, music, and the double bass in the university. So, but I don't think he's going to go that far because he's lost in his government, and he's not going to get the support for such a dramatic change.
But I think also, I mean, despite politics or something, as musicians, we can do a lot. And what you said is to work together from all over the countries, and especially to support the children's education is, in my opinion, a very big future goal.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping a lot to work together with you, with all the colleagues in the world, to support this. And I thank you very, very much for this talk.
Thank you, Klaus, and congratulations
to have you here.
Congratulations for your program. It's an important initiative for our bass players.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.